My child, I am here to bestow blessings upon you, your family, and to clear the path before you so that you may face what is to come without fear. Haven't you felt a shift in the air lately? An unseen stirring, a resonant call from the deepest part of your being, reminding you that something significant is about to happen. I know you have, because it is I who placed those signs within your soul. Your moment has arrived. You have been living in anticipation of something that you yourself couldn't quite name. Perhaps you thought your life would always remain as it is. The cycles of time, the worries, the unfulfilled dreams, the unfulfilled desires. But I tell you that the day is coming. The day everything will change. The day you will face what I have prepared for you since the dawn of time. There will be no turning back once that day arrives. Everything you once knew will no longer be the same. The old door will close, and a new path will open before you. Don't ask me where that path will lead, for I will not reveal everything beforehand. But I want you to know one thing. My very hand will guide you through it. Do not be afraid, for I will not leave you to walk alone. Trials will come, but it is through these trials that you will find a strength you never knew you possessed. Temptations will surround you, but I have placed a light within your heart. And if you keep your eyes focused on me, you will not be lost. There are things you will lose, but do not weep, for I will bestow upon you something far better. Are you ready? Be prepared. You do not know the exact day or hour, but I do. And when it comes, you will understand that everything has been predetermined. Nothing is random. Nothing is meaningless. Everything you have experienced, every sorrow, every missed dream, every door that is closed before you, all are pieces of a larger picture that I am painting. And on that day, the picture will begin to reveal itself. Allow me to prepare you. Allow me to mold you. Do you know why gold must pass through fire to become pure? So, do not resist when I lead you through the fire of testing. Do not ask why, but believe that my hand is forging you into something greater than you could ever imagine. Old things must pass away to make way for the new. The walls you once built around yourself will crumble. You may feel exposed, vulnerable, but that is when I can act most powerfully in your life. Because when you no longer rely on your own strength, you will begin to learn how to rely on me. Remember that not everyone will understand your path. There will be those who look at you with suspicion, those who turn their backs on you because they cannot see what I am doing in you. Do not let that discourage you. The truth is not always immediately welcomed, but the truth remains the truth. Be steadfast. Stand on my promises. That day will come like a thief in the night, unexpected and without warning. You may be doing your everyday job. You may be lost in your own thoughts. You may be walking down a familiar street, and then in a single moment, everything will change. You will feel it in your spirit before your eyes see it. An awakening, a light shining through all the darkness, a call resonating in your heart that you cannot ignore. I have seen you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I know you better than you know yourself. And I tell you that I have a plan for you, a plan that was ordained before the foundations of the world were laid. That day is a part of that plan, the day you will step into a new chapter, the day you will be transformed. Do not try to hold on to the old things. Do not cling to the things I'm asking you to let go of. You cannot carry heavy baggage when stepping into the new thing I have prepared for you. Put down your burdens. Open your heart. Be prepared because that day is coming. You cannot see, but I am acting. You cannot hear, but I am speaking. You cannot touch, but I am touching your soul. There are things you think you have understood, but you have only stood on the edge of awareness. I'm not calling you to live forever in your comfort zone, where you can control everything with your limited mind. I'm calling you to step out, to trust, to venture into things you have never experienced. Be ready, for when that day comes, you will no longer be the person you once were. The things you have longed for may not come in the way you imagine. You think I will put you on a straight, peaceful path, without storms, without darkness. But I will not do that. I will put you in the midst of the storm, and it is there that you will know who you belong to. I will allow you to face the impossible, so that you may learn to grasp the miraculous. You will have to leave behind the things you once considered important. You will lose some things, but you will also receive more than you can imagine. Do not cling to the old, because those things cannot follow you into the new season. Everything you once knew is just a small part of the larger plan that I have ordained. You have felt lost. There were times you asked yourself where you were going. There were days you looked in the mirror and no longer recognized yourself. That is not your fault. It is because you're standing in the middle of a transformation. You no longer belong to the old place, but you have not fully stepped into the new. It is this waiting that makes you confused. But I tell you that everything is about to change. Do not let anxiety choke your soul. Do not let the voices outside make you doubt. Focus on me. When that day comes, you will know that I have never left you for even a moment. Do not think that you are not ready. Do not think that you are not strong enough. I do not call the perfect. I do not seek those who have all the answers. I call those who are willing. I seek souls who know how to listen. You do not need to understand everything. You just need to trust. What you need to face the day is not in your hands, but in mine. You will feel an urge, an inner demand that you cannot ignore. You will see the door open before you, and you will know that you must enter. You may hesitate. You may want to turn away, but you cannot escape what I have prepared for you since the dawn of time. This change is not something you can postpone. It is not an invitation that you can freely accept or reject. It is a call, a mission, a path you must walk. Everything you have experienced has led you to this moment. No pain is meaningless. No challenge is just a coincidence. I have seen you in silent tears. I have listened to the cries that no one knows. Do not think that I do not see. Do not think that I do not know. I have been waiting for this moment to open your eyes, to show you who you really are, to let you know that you are not just a small individual adrift in the stream of life, but also a part of a divine plan. Do not seek answers in the world. Do not expect confirmation from people. You may hear many words around you, but there is only one voice you need to listen to. When that day comes, there will be many calls, there will be many paths laid out before you. But you have only one choice if you want to walk in the light. Follow me. Do not turn left, do not turn right, do not look back. I am in front of you, and you must move forward. You will feel a tremor, not only in your heart, but also in your life. What was once solid will be shaken. What was once unchangeable will be transformed. You will see the things you once believed in collapse before your eyes. Do not panic. Do not try to cling to the things that are falling. Understand that this is part of the preparation. I am clearing everything that does not belong to you so that you can stand firm when the time comes. I know that you have fears. I know you are wary of what you do not understand. But do not let fear control you. Do not let doubt make you hesitate. When that day comes, you will not be able to turn back. You will not be able to escape because the light has shone on you. And once you have seen it, you cannot pretend that you do not know. Let that light guide you. Do not let the darkness pull you back. There will be those who leave you. There will be relationships that break down. Do not grieve. Do not try to hold on to what is destined to pass away. Understand that not everyone is called to walk with you on this path. Not everyone will understand the transformation in you. You cannot expect everyone to accept what I am doing in your life. Some will not be able to continue with you, but I will bring others. Those who are prepared to accompany you. Those who will support you. Those who will walk with you in the light. Be prepared, because that day will come sooner than you think. Do not let your slowness make you miss the moment. Be ready, because when it comes, you must walk immediately. I do not want to see you stuck between what has passed and what is to come. When I open the door, you must step through. When I call, you must answer. This is your time. This is when you must make a decision. You can't continue to live as before, or you can venture into what I have prepared. But if you choose to continue, you must let go of everything that has held you back. There is no room for hesitation. There is no time to hesitate. Be prepared, for that day is not far off. I am ready. What about you? You once thought that you could control everything, but time will show you that nothing belongs to you, nor is anything in your hands. Everything is in my plan, and everything you are experiencing has been predetermined. You will not be able to prevent that day from coming, nor will you be able to postpone the inevitable. Change is the law of all creation, but the change I bring is not like the changes you have known. This is not a small change, not a gentle adjustment, but a radical transformation. When you step into that day, you will find that you're no longer the person you were. Something new will be born, and you will not be able to go back as before. You have heard my voice calling in your heart, but you have ignored it. How many times have you felt something different in your spirit, but then you dismissed it, thinking it was just a fleeting feeling? But I tell you that it is not an illusion, not a coincidence, but the call from me. I have planted in your heart signs, feelings of unease, thoughts that you cannot explain. I have let you experience moments that you cannot explain, events that you cannot arrange according to your reason. All those things are not random. I have used them to awaken you, to prepare you for the time to come. When that day comes, you will see everything around you as if it is spinning. Some things you once believed to be immutable will change. Some paths you once walked will disappear. What you once considered important will no longer be as meaningful. Do not cling to what is outdated. Look ahead, because I am not bringing you back to the old path. I am not the God of repetition, but the God of renewal. Are you ready to step into the new thing that I have prepared? Do you dare to give up certainty to step into the unknown? There will be those who tell you that you are wrong, that you're going too far, that you are losing yourself. But I tell you that they do not understand what I am doing in you. Do not expect the world to recognize you, because the world has never recognized what belongs to me. If you wait for the approval of others before you walk, you will never be able to walk. Learn to distinguish which voice comes from me and which voice comes from man. When that day comes, my voice will be clearer than ever, but you must have ears ready to listen. If you let other voices drown out my voice, you will be lost. I know that you are afraid. I know that you feel insecure when you think of what you cannot control. But you must not let fear hold you back. If you choose to stay in your comfort zone, you will never know how great what I have prepared for you is. You cannot both hold on tightly to what is familiar and step into the new. You must let go to receive. You must be willing to lose some things to be able to receive more. Do not think that I will let you lose without compensating. When I take something away, I always have something better to replace it. But if you keep holding on to the old things, you will not have hands to receive the new things that I am bringing. Look at the people I have brought into your life. There are those who only come for a short season, but you try to keep them forever. There are relationships you cling to even though I have shown you that they do not belong to you. Do not resist what I am doing. Do not try to keep what I have told you to let go of. There are people who will have to leave. There are things that will have to end. There are doors that will close. But you must not let that scare you. I do not take away without compensating. I do not close without opening something else. But if you keep turning back, you will not be able to see what I am putting before your eyes. When that day comes, the things you once considered important may become meaningless. The goals you pursued may no longer appeal to you. What you thought you wanted may no longer make you crave it. Do not be afraid when that happens. Do not think that you have lost your way. On the contrary, it is a sign that you are being prepared. When I work in you, I will change your desires. I will adjust the cravings in your heart. I will put in you a new craving, a new passion, a new purpose. That is how you know that you are stepping into something greater. This world is changing. What you see today may not exist tomorrow. The systems that you once trusted will shake. What you once thought was solid may collapse right before your eyes. Do not let that shake you. I am not calling you to cling to this world. I am not raising you up to become a part of temporary things. You were created for a kingdom that cannot be shaken. If you put your faith in fleeting things, you will collapse with them. But if you put your faith in me, you will stand firm even when everything else crumbles. You have spent too much time seeking answers outside you, running after the wisdom of men, relying on the understanding of the world. But I tell you that is not where you will find the truth. When that day comes, you will have to stop. Listen and recognize that there is no wisdom higher than my guidance. I will speak to you, I will show you the way to go, but you must listen to my voice. I do not come through noise, but in silence. If your mind is filled with other voices, you will not hear me. Learn to be silent. Learn to separate yourself from the agitation of the world so that you can hear what I want to say. The days ahead will not be like the days that have passed. If you expect everything to remain the same, you will be surprised. I do not work in the old way. I do not take you along the paths that you have known. I am doing a new thing, and you must be ready to step into it. Do not try to bring the old mindset into the new season. Do not think that you can use the old ways to face the new challenges. It will no longer work. You must learn to adapt, learn to change, learn to listen and walk according to my guidance. There will be challenges. There will be moments when you feel like you're walking through darkness, but you are not allowed to stop. Do not be afraid when you cannot clearly see the path ahead. Just walk one step at a time. The light I give you is not the light that illuminates the entire path from beginning to end, but the light enough for you to walk right now. If you wait until everything is clear, you will never walk. Faith is not seeing and then believing, but believing even when you do not see. You may think that you're not strong enough, that you are not ready, that there are others more deserving, but I tell you that I am not looking for the perfect. I am not calling those who are ready. I prepare those I have called. If you are waiting for the feeling of readiness, you will wait forever. If you are waiting for an assurance from the world, you will never walk. Remember that I myself am your assurance. If I have called you, I will also equip you. If I have put you on this path, I will also go with you to the very end. Be prepared, for that day is not far off. What you are feeling in your heart, the signs you are seeing around you, all are evidence that you are approaching a critical turning point. Do not delay. Do not wait for another time. Do not think that you have much time. That moment can come unexpectedly, and when it comes, you must be ready to walk immediately. There is no time to hesitate. There is no second chance to turn back. What I am doing is not normal. It is not like anything you have ever experienced. It will change everything. It will change you. When that comes, you will realize that everything you have ever experienced has meaning. The tears you have cried, the sorrows you have endured, the challenges you have faced, all are preparation. Nothing in your life is wasted. No challenge is meaningless. I have used all to forge you, to transform you into the person you need to become. And now that time is approaching. Be ready, be steadfast, walk because I am here. I am calling you, and I am leading you into what I have prepared from eternity. You can feel strange things in your heart, an invisible agitation, a call resounding from the deepest part of your soul. That is not random. It is the urging from myself, from the one who created you and holds your destiny in hand. You're not allowed to ignore that, not allowed to deny the voice I am speaking to you. The world may try to distract you, may fill your mind with worries, ambitions, things that seem important but are only fleeting, but I tell you to lift up your eyes, to look beyond the temporary things, to turn your heart towards me, because what you are about to face will not be like anything you have ever experienced. I have gone before you, have cleared the path for you, have arranged every detail, but are you ready to enter? Do you dare to let go of the comfort of the present to grasp what you have never known? I'm not calling you to live in false security, not inviting you to stay in a land that you are familiar with. I am calling you to step into where you have never been, to face things you have never seen, to become a person that you yourself have never imagined. This is not a normal change, not a small event in life. This is a turning point, a milestone, a boundary between the old and the new. There are things in you that must die so that you can live fully. There are old habits, old ways of thinking, negative emotions that you have held for too long. They cannot go with you into the new season. They are chains, burdens, things that are holding you back. I am not raising you up to live as a prisoner of the past. I am not creating you to be forever bound in the limits that you yourself have set for yourself. Now's the time to break free from all that. Now's the time to step out, to face yourself, to let me do my transformative work in your heart. But that only happens when you're ready to surrender, when you stop fighting what I'm doing. You've wondered why certain doors have closed, why some dreams haven't come true, why you couldn't go down certain paths you thought you'd take. But you haven't seen the bigger picture. You don't know what's ahead. You only see the loss, but I see the preparation. You only see disappointment, but I see opportunity to build you in ways you can't even imagine. What you think is failure might actually be protection. What you think is a delay might be the preparation for the perfect timing. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust that I know the way. Look back at your journey. Look at the times you thought you couldn't make it, but I brought you through miraculously. Remember the times you thought it was all over, but I opened up a new path. That wasn't just coincidence or luck. That's proof that I've always had you, that my hand has never left your life. And just as I protected you in the past, I'll continue to do so in the future. But this time I'm not just protecting you. I'm moving you into something bigger. There are blessings waiting, doors already opened, milestones already set. But you can't just sit around and expect everything to happen automatically. You have to step out, to commit, to prepare yourself. I don't bless those who sit passively. I bless those who walk in faith. I'm not calling you to live an ordinary life, to follow the same roads everyone else does. You're chosen to be different, to stand up, to step into something that not everyone can. But that requires courage, willingness, and the spirit of a warrior. When that time comes, you'll realize that not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will walk with you on this journey. Some people won't be able to go all the way with you. Some relationships will have to fall away. That might hurt, it might make you doubt, but you can't let it stop you. Not everyone is called to the same destination as you. Not everyone is willing to pay the price to step into something new. You have to be strong, to fix your eyes on me, to understand that it's me calling you, not people. Look for the signs, listen to my voice, open your heart to receive the preparation. You can't grab hold of something new if you're still clinging to the old. You can't step into the future if your mind is still trapped in the past. Don't be afraid of change. Don't worry about what you don't know. I'm here. I'm guiding you. I've set the path. Walk in trust. Walk in faith, because when that day comes, everything will change. And you'll realize that your life will never be the same. Did you know there are moments in life when everything changes in the blink of an eye? No warning, no heads up, no clear signs that you can see coming. Just a moment, and everything old suddenly feels foreign. Everything you were clinging to becomes as fragile as dust in a strong wind. What you thought was solid might be shaken. What you put your faith in might not be there anymore. But don't panic. I've told you. I've warned you. I've called you to prepare. Because when that moment comes, it's not the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Can you feel the change coming? Maybe you felt it in your dreams. In those random thoughts that cross your mind, in the moments when your heart trembles for no clear reason. That's not coincidence. That's my preparation for you, so you won't be caught off guard. Won't be swept away in the whirlwind of transformation. You have to stand firm, to equip yourself, to train your spirit, so you won't be swayed by what's about to happen. But remember, I'm not bringing you into a new season just so you can survive. I'm not changing your life just so you can keep living the same way. I'm changing everything so you can live fully, so you can step into the right place that I've planned from the very beginning. There are potentials in you that you've never tapped into, abilities you've never dared to believe existed. But I see it all. I know it all. I've placed those things in you, and I'm going to awaken them. Let me do my work in you. Let me strip away what doesn't belong. What's been weighing down your soul for too long? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's the memories of past failures that you're still holding on to. You think they're just wounds, but really they're chains, barriers that are keeping you from stepping into the greatness I prepared for you. When you let go, you'll feel lighter. When you let me take it away, you'll feel free. There are things you won't understand right away. There are paths I'll lead you down where you can't see the destination. But you don't need to know everything. You just need to know that I'm the one holding your destiny. When you put all your trust in me, when you let me guide you without doubting, when you're no longer bound by what your eyes see, but only focus on my voice, that's when you'll walk in certainty. The time is drawing near. The changes aren't far off. What you've known will never be the same. But don't worry, don't be afraid, don't panic. I'm still here, still beside you, still holding you in my hand. Get ready, be prepared, because a new chapter is opening up. And when you step into it, you'll realize that what I've promised you isn't just empty words. It's the truth. It's reality. It's something no one can change. Have you ever wondered why some dreams in your heart never come true? Why some paths you hoped for become unclear? Why some things you've waited so long for still haven't arrived? I tell you that everything has its time, and nothing happens outside of my plan. Sometimes I just postpone something Not because I'm refusing you, but because I'm preparing you. I can't give you something when you're not ready to receive it. If you get it too soon, you won't know how to keep it. You won't be able to use it for the purpose I intended. That's why I'm calling you to prepare. Because when the time comes, I don't want you floundering. I don't want you scared. I don't want you panicking at the changes that are happening. I want you to walk with certainty, with faith, with courage. Reflect on what's happened in your life. There have been moments when you thought you were lost, that I had abandoned you, that everything was over. But did you see that even in those moments, I was still protecting you? Did you see that even when you thought you had lost everything, I was still providing for you? Did you see that when one door closed, another opened? You can't see the whole picture, but I can. You can't know the future, but I do. Everything I do has a reason. Everything I arrange has a purpose. And now I tell you that your time is coming. What has been delayed, what has been blocked, what you thought you had lost, if it belongs to you, it will return. But this time you'll receive it with a different mindset, with a preparation you've never had before. Have you ever felt a prompting in your heart without knowing where it's coming from? That's because I'm calling you to move forward, stirring your spirit, urging you to step out of your comfort zone. What you're about to step into isn't something you can handle with your own strength. It's not something you can control on your own. It's something bigger than you, greater than your understanding, and only when you completely trust in me can you walk in it without being knocked down. You're used to your way of life, used to the limits you set for yourself, used to your view of the world. But do you know that I don't see you the way you see yourself? Do you know that I see more in you than you've ever imagined? I've placed in you a potential that even you haven't fully discovered. I've built you in a way that no one else can replace you. But if you keep thinking you're small, if you keep letting fear bind you, if you keep avoiding the things I'm calling you to face, then you'll never step into the fullness I've planned. There are things that are about to happen that you can't understand right now, but I want you to be prepared in your heart. When things start to change, don't panic. When you see the things you're familiar with fading away, don't be afraid when you realize you can no longer cling to the old. Remember that I am a solid foundation you can rely on. Everything else may waver, but I don't. The path may be unclear, but I am the light to guide you. People around you may not understand you, may doubt you, may even oppose you. But don't let that make you falter. Because what I'm about to do in your life isn't for people. It's not to please anyone. It's to reveal my glory through you. Get ready. That means you have to be willing to let go of things that no longer fit you. There are relationships you have to let go of. There are habits you have to change. There are thoughts you have to abandon. You can't step into a new season with an old mindset. You can't carry unnecessary burdens. Be willing to let me prune. Be willing to let me purify. Be willing to let me create you in a new image. You don't know when things will change, but I do. And when that day comes, you'll see that all the waiting wasn't in vain. All the trials weren't meaningless. All the sacrifices weren't a waste. You'll see that what I prepared for you far exceeds what you can imagine, and you'll step into it with gratitude, with joy, with a faith stronger than ever. Get ready because that day is drawing near. And when it comes, you won't be the person you were yesterday. Can you feel it? Something is shifting. Something is changing right before your eyes. The world you know, the habits you maintain, the paths you've walked, all will no longer be the same. What you thought would last forever may only exist for a short time longer. What you once believed to be solid may be challenged by strong winds. But remember this, I don't let everything change without a purpose. Nothing happens beyond my control. Every change is part of my plan for you. Ask yourself, are you ready? When the wind of change blows, will you stand firm or be swept away? When challenges come, will you be steadfast or tremble? When the light of truth shines, will you accept it or run away? I've been preparing you for a long time. I've trained you through the circumstances you've experienced, the storms you've weathered, all the pain, all the failures, all the losses. They were all not meaningless. They were all to forge you, to make you stronger, to teach you how to stand firm when the decisive moment comes. Don't think you're just a small individual in this vast world. You have a role, you have a mission. You weren't created randomly, not a vague existence. You were born in this time for a reason. There is no coincidence in my plan. What I put in you is unique, No one else can replace you. What you're about to step into will be part of your destined journey. But if you're not prepared, if you're not ready, if you let fear stop you, you'll miss what I've set aside. There are doors you have to walk through, but before that, there are doors you have to close. There are things you have to give up in order to receive better things. It could be an old way of thinking. It could be a relationship that no longer brings life. It could be a habit that has pulled you away from the path I've set for you. Don't regret what I'm calling you to let go of, because what I will give you is much better. You can't hold on to what belongs to the past and expect to step into the future I have prepared. Learn to let go, learn to trust, learn to walk without having to see the entire path ahead. When you see the signs of change, don't panic. Don't let your heart be shaken by what your eyes see or your ears hear. There are things that will happen that you can't control, but I still hold everything in my hands. When you see everything around you seem to be collapsing, remember that not every collapse is a loss. Sometimes it's liberation, removing what no longer fits, preparing for something newer, more solid. When a seed falls to the ground, it doesn't disappear, but it's preparing to give birth to something greater. You've waited, hoped, prayed. Now the time has come. But you need to prepare, not just with words, but with actions. Start walking, start training, start changing yourself right now. I can't put you in a new position if you still have the old mindset. I can't give you great things if you are still bound by doubt. If you truly believe in what I have promised, act on that belief. You're about to step into a stage where everything will become clearer. You'll see things you couldn't see before. You'll understand what you were confused about. I will open your eyes, open your heart, open your mind. And then you'll realize that I've been with you all the way. I've never abandoned you, never forgotten you. Every expectation will no longer be in vain. You will see doors open. You will see opportunities appear. You will see the blessing that you never thought was possible. But you need to be ready to step in. Don't let the old things hold you back. Don't let fear paralyze you. Don't let your limited thoughts prevent you from stepping into bigger things. I'm not calling you to live an ordinary life. I didn't create you just to exist, just to drift through each day without purpose. I want you to live fully, want you to walk in strength, want you to experience things beyond your imagination. The time is coming. When that day comes, you won't be able to go back to the way you were. You won't be able to continue living as before because you have been transformed, have been called out of the darkness, have been brought into something bigger. Get ready, be prepared, because you're about to see unimaginable things. And when that happens, you will no longer doubt, no longer fear, no longer hesitate. You'll know that this is the moment I've been preparing you for a long time. Can you feel the deep throbbing in your soul? There's an awakening taking place. A stream of light seeping into the dark corners that you've long forgotten. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but you can feel it with your soul. That's my call. A call that awakens you from the long sleep of procrastination, of fear, of the limits you set for yourself. You can hear it, though gentle yet powerful, though invisible yet undeniable. The world around you is changing, and you must also change. What was once familiar will not remain so forever. The paths that were once smooth may become bumpy. The doors that were once closed may suddenly open. I'm preparing you to be able to receive the things you've never experienced, so you can walk in the paths you've never dared to set foot on before. But if you don't prepare, if you keep clinging to the old things, if you regret the things that have passed, you will not be able to move forward. I don't want you to be stuck in meaningless loops. There are things you've experienced over and over again. There are pains you've carried for years. There are dreams you've buried because you think they can't come true. But listen to me. It's time to break all the chains. It's time to end the old cycles and step into a new phase. Don't let your past define you. Don't let past failures become a barrier preventing you from future success. Don't let old wounds make you afraid of new opportunities. I don't want you to just live an ordinary life. Just exist without a purpose. You were born with a reason, created with a mission. But that mission will not automatically be accomplished if you're not willing to step out. I can put you in front of the door, but you have to be the one to step through. I can show you the path, but you have to be the one to move forward. I can prepare all the good things for you, But if you don't open your heart to receive, if you keep clinging to fear, if you let doubt prevent you, then you will stay in one place forever. Look back at what you've been through. Each challenge, each difficulty, each tear you've shed, they were not meaningless. They're the bricks that I have used to build you. They're the lessons that you have learned, are the strengths that you have accumulated. You're no longer the person you were yesterday. You have grown, have become stronger, have been prepared for what is to come. But are you willing to believe that? Are you willing to see yourself the way I see you? There are things that you cannot carry into the new stage. There are thoughts you must change. There are habits you must give up. I am purifying you, removing what is no longer suitable, freeing you from what is holding you back. Don't resist the change. Don't be afraid when you feel something is leaving you. Don't cling to what no longer belongs to you. Because when you're willing to lose the old things, you will be given back better things. Prepare your mind, prepare your heart, prepare your spirit. When the time comes, you will have no time to hesitate. You will have to step out, have to act, have to make decisions. I don't want you to be surprised. I don't want you to be swept away by the changes. I want you to stand firm. I want you to stand up straight. I want you to step into the future with courage. You are about to see unimaginable things. Things you thought were too far away will become close. The doors that seemed closed will open before your eyes. The opportunities that you once thought were not for you will suddenly appear. But if you don't prepare, you won't recognize them. If you're not ready, you'll let them pass by. If you're not brave enough, you'll miss out on what should belong to you. Don't look at your circumstances to judge the future. Don't let the current limits make you doubt what I'm about to do. Because I'm not limited by circumstances, not limited by time, not limited by what your eyes see. What I do goes beyond your understanding. Just believe, just prepare, just walk with expectation. Because greatness is coming. And when it comes, you won't be able to go back to the way you were. You won't be able to continue living as before because you have been transformed, have been called out of the darkness, have been brought into something bigger. Get ready, be prepared because that day is not far away. Can you sense it? A new wind is blowing through your life, bringing changes you never thought possible. Things that are old will disappear. What you were familiar with will no longer be the same as before. But don't cling to the past. Don't hold on to things that have come time to leave. Because I am preparing you for something new, a journey that if you are not ready, you will not be able to grasp. This change is not a meaningless disruption, but an intentional arrangement. You have longed for many things, but were afraid when they actually came. You have asked for transformation. But when I start to shake things up, you want everything to stay the same. Do you understand? You can't expect a new future and cling to the past at the same time. If you want to see the glory that I have for you, you must learn to let go of what no longer serves you. Have you ever wondered why these doors close, why these relationships end, why the plans you worked so hard to build fell apart? Not because you have failed, but because I am redirecting you. If you stay in your comfort zone, you will never discover the true potential that I have placed in you. The challenges do not come to defeat you, but to remind you that you are ready for something bigger. But you must have enough courage to step into it. I know you're afraid of uncertainty. You're worried about the future, about the unknown, about all the possibilities. But look back at all those times before when you thought it was over, that there was no way forward. You got through it, didn't you? You rose up stronger, wiser, and now you're here, ready for the next step. There's going to be a time when everything shifts, a moment when you realize you can't keep living like you have been. There will be a calling in your heart, an awakening you can't ignore. That's the sign that I'm pushing you into something new, a new chapter in your life. But if you're not paying attention, if you're not ready, you'll miss it. Keep your eyes open. Let your soul listen. I'm putting you in challenging situations, not to wear you down, but to teach you to trust me more. When you feel like you have nothing left to hold on to, that's when you need to grab hold of me. When you don't have the answers, that's when I'll lead the way. When you feel weak, that's when I'll give you strength. What you're about to go through might not be easy. There will be times when you feel alone, times when you wonder if you're even on the right path. But remember, you're not walking alone. I've gone ahead of you, clearing the way, removing obstacles you don't even see. I'm guiding you, even when you can't feel it. Be careful what you give your attention to right now. Negative words. The whispers of fear, doubts can creep into your mind and throw you off course. But you can't let them control you. Keep your eyes on the prize. Focus on the promise I've placed inside you. Those who walk in faith will see miracles, but those who wait for everything to be perfect before they act will just stay stuck. You won't be the same person after that day comes. When you step into the transformation I've prepared, you'll look back and barely recognize the old you. You'll be stronger, sharper, more alive. What used to scare you won't have any power over you anymore. What used to hold you back won't hold you back anymore. You'll walk in a freedom you've never experienced. But you have to decide right now. Are you ready? Are you ready to let go of the small things to grab hold of something great? Are you ready to trust even when you don't understand everything? Are you ready to let me change you? To let me lead you to places you never thought you'd go? I'm calling you, and you have to decide if you're going to answer. Listen closely, because what I'm about to say will awaken something deep inside you. There are moments in life when you can't turn away, can't ignore, can't put off. Those moments mark a shift, a new beginning, a turning point you can't undo. And you're standing before a moment like that. Let me open your eyes so you can see the bigger picture. You're not here by accident. You're not going through this for no reason. Every event, every person, every challenge you've faced are pieces being carefully arranged to bring you exactly where you need to be. There are things you don't understand now, but you'll see it clearly later. Closed doors aren't rejection, they're protection. Roads that suddenly end aren't the end, they're redirection. I'm not letting you get lost. I'm leading you onto a new path, a journey designed just for you. You might feel insecure. You might feel unsteady in the face of the unknown. But you don't need to know everything right now. The only thing you need is to prepare yourself. Prepare not by finding all the answers on your own, but by opening your heart, by being willing to let go of what no longer serves you, by trusting me more than your own plans. You felt this urge in your heart for a long time, but you've ignored it. You've heard this calling, but you've always found a way to delay. You thought you weren't ready, that the timing wasn't right, that you needed more preparation. But do you know if I've called you? Then you're more ready than you think. If you keep waiting until you feel perfect to take a step, you'll stand still forever, because perfection doesn't come before action. It comes during the process of walking. There are things I'm removing from your life, not to take away from you, but to set you free. There are people you think you need, but they're really just holding you back. There are relationships you're trying to hold on to, but they don't have a place in the new chapter of your life. Don't cling to what's past. Don't look back with regret. What belongs to you will never leave you. What no longer belongs to you, let it go. I don't want you living with a heavy heart, burdened with old wounds, hurtful words, memories that bring you down. You need to let go so you can move forward. You need to let the pain go so you can step into healing. Maybe you think you've gone too far, that you're beyond hope, that you've made too many mistakes. But I don't see you that way. I don't see your failures. I see your potential. I don't see your wounds. I see the healing you're about to experience. You might feel like you're walking in darkness, but I'll never let you get lost. My light is always guiding you, even when you don't realize it. Surprises are coming. Doors are opening. Opportunities are coming in unexpected ways. But are you ready to grab them? Or will you let fear hold you back? Remember, you can't live with an old mindset and expect a new result. If you want change, you have to let change happen from inside you first. You can't think the same way, act the same way, and expect something new to happen. You have to do things you've never done, dare to believe in things you've never believed in, and walk along paths you've never considered. Don't worry about what you can't control. Don't let negative thoughts cloud your vision. Don't let other people's words make you doubt yourself. Trust that if I've placed something in your heart, I'll also equip you with the strength to achieve it. Your time has come. There's no more time to hesitate, no more time to delay. You have to act, you have to walk, you have to prepare to receive what I've set aside for you. What I'm about to do will amaze you. The prayers you thought had been forgotten will be answered. The dreams you thought were dead will come alive again. But you have to be ready to receive them. Remember that big changes don't come to those who just stand still and wait. They come to those who dare to believe, dare to act, dare to walk even when they can't clearly see the road ahead. Can you feel the movement around you? Like a wind that's quietly changing direction, like a wave rising on the distant horizon, like something you can't see but can feel clearly deep in your soul. It's not an illusion. It's not your imagination. It's the change I'm bringing. Something is forming, a new chapter is opening, and you have to prepare to step in. Have you ever noticed that some things in your life are starting to lose their meaning? Things that used to make you happy are now fading? Relationships that used to be important no longer feel connected? Habits that used to be a part of you now make you feel out of place? That's not a coincidence, it's a sign. I'm waking you up, pulling you away from the things that are no longer for you, so you can step into something better. But you have to understand one thing. Change always comes with challenges. You can't expect a new life without being willing to leave the old one behind. I can't pour new wine into old wineskins or build on a cracked foundation. That's why you feel like everything around you is being torn down. Because the old things have to go so you can receive the new. Don't be afraid when you feel like you're losing control of everything. Don't panic when your plans don't go the way you want. You can't see the whole picture, but I can. You don't know what's waiting ahead. But I know what I'm about to do in your life will far exceed anything you can imagine. But that requires you to have enough faith to walk even when you can't see the result. Look back at the times when you thought you wouldn't get through it, but you did. The pain that seemed unbearable, but now you look back and see that it made you stronger. The tears that seemed like they would never stop, but then they dried up, leaving in you a resilience you didn't have before. All of that didn't happen to bring you down, but to refine you, to prepare you for this day. Now you're standing before a threshold. A new chapter is about to begin. But you have to ask yourself, are you really ready to step in? Do you dare to let go of what's familiar to grab hold of what you've never experienced? Do you have enough courage to trust me even when you can't see the entire path? Those who hold on too tightly to the past won't be able to receive the future. Those who keep clinging to things that are no longer for them will never have enough hands to receive something greater. If you want to step into the plan I've set aside for you, you have to be willing to give up what no longer fits. You can't walk with heavy baggage on your shoulders. Gently let go. Trust that when you let go of something, I'll put something more precious in your hand. But you have to understand that preparation is not just about letting go. It's also about equipping yourself. You can't step into a new journey without being fully prepared. This is the time you need to strengthen your faith, sharpen your spirit, renew your mind. Don't fill your mind with worries, doubts, or fears. Focus on what will move you forward. There will be people who don't understand what you're going through. They'll look at you and not understand why you're changing. They'll ask questions. They'll doubt. They might even make fun of you. But don't let that make you hesitate. They don't need to understand, because this journey isn't for them. This is your journey, and only you know the urging I've placed in your heart. Be strong. What I'm about to do in your life can't be stopped by anyone. What I've already determined will come to pass, and you just need to be ready to receive it. Opportunities are coming, doors are opening, miracles are waiting. But do you have enough courage to step in? Remember, I don't promise that this journey will be easy, but I promise it will be worth it. I don't promise that you won't face challenges, but I promise that you'll never have to face them alone. You just need to walk, trust, and be ready, because your time has come. Can you feel it? The turmoil is rising in your soul, like a flame burning in the dark night. What I'm about to do will not only change your life, but also reshape who you are. But for you to step into that, you have to expand your mind, extend your hands. Be ready to receive the new thing I'm going to bring. Look at your life right now. Are there things you felt no longer fit? Have you started to realize that old habits no longer bring meaning? Have you noticed there are paths you used to take that no longer lead you where you want to go? That's a sign. That's a foreshadowing. I'm preparing to make all things new. I'm going to change the way you see the world, the way you think, the way you live, the way you love, the way you trust. I'm going to change what you once thought was immutable so that you can truly step into the new life that I have set for you. But you must know that change is never easy. No one can pass through the threshold of change without being challenged. No one can reach the light without leaving the darkness. You may have to face loneliness. There may be moments when you feel lost, feel abandoned, feel that no one understands you. But don't forget, I'm always here. The challenges don't come to destroy you, but to refine you. The losses are not the end, but the stepping stone for greater things ahead. You have been hurt. You have been disappointed. You have felt as if this world has no place for you. But remember that every wound has its purpose. Every fall has its own meaning. I have seen every tear you shed, every pain you kept hidden, every time you wondered if anyone really cared about you. And now I tell you that I see you, I know you, I understand you. I was there, even when you didn't realize my presence. Let the past rest. Don't let the old things pull you back. Don't let past mistakes define who you are. You're no longer the person of yesterday. I don't call you by your mistakes. I call you by the new identity that I give you. You are the chosen one. You are the loved one. You are the one that I have set aside for a special mission, a noble purpose. And that day is coming. The day you will understand why you had to go through all that you have been through. Are you ready to step into that? Are you ready to let go of the burdens in your soul? Are you ready to open your heart to receive the new? There will be people trying to hold you back, people who want to pull you back to the past, people who cannot understand the path I have for you. Don't let them stop you. Keep walking. Keep your eyes looking ahead. Let me guide you, even when you don't know exactly where the path will lead. What I am about to do in your life will amaze you. The doors that you thought were closed will open. The dreams you thought were dead will be resurrected. Things that you thought were impossible will become possible. But all of that can only happen when you are ready, when you walk in faith, when you decide that you will no longer let fear control you. Don't ask if you have enough strength, because your strength does not come from you, but from me. Don't ask yourself if you are worthy, because I don't choose you because of your worthiness. I choose you because of love. I choose you because I have a plan that only you can accomplish. If you refuse, if you hesitate, that plan will not disappear, but you will miss the opportunity to be part of the miracle. Remember that when you decide to walk, I will be with you. I will open the way. I will protect you. I will take you further than you can imagine. But the first step must come from you. Do you dare? Do you know that at this moment the change has begun? It does not come in thunderous sound or clear signs from heaven. It is quietly silent like a seed breaking under the ground before rising into a tree. You cannot see it with the naked eye, but if you listen to your soul, you will feel the movement. Something is forming, a wave is rising, a door is opening. You cannot turn your back on it. I will not allow you to miss this. How many years of your life have you spent waiting for something to change? How many times have you wondered when the suffering will end? Will your prayers be answered? But do you understand that change cannot come if you are not ready to receive it? Many people crave a new life but cling to the past. They want to walk on a new path but refuse to leave the old one. They want to see miracles but do not have enough faith to believe in miracles. But I say to you, the day is coming, the day when everything will change. The day when what has been lost will be restored. The day when what has been destroyed will be rebuilt. The day when things that seemed impossible will become reality. But you must prepare. You cannot step into a new era with an old mindset. You cannot receive what I am about to give if your hands are still holding on to old, worn-out things. Ask yourself what you're holding on to. A relationship that no longer brings life. A pain from the past that you cannot let go of. A fear that is binding you. A narrow thought that prevents you from stepping into the plan I have for you. If you want the new, you must be willing to shed the old. If you want light, you must step out of the darkness. If you want to move forward, you must stop looking back. There are things you think you cannot live without, but in fact they are holding you back. There are things you think you need to hold on to, but they only make you more tired. I don't want you to live a life burdened with unnecessary burdens. I want you to be free. I want you to live in the fullness that I have set for you. But you must be willing to let go. Have you ever noticed that sometimes I take away some things in your life? Not to punish you, but to protect you? Sometimes I close a door not because you're not worthy to enter, but because behind that door are things that do not belong to you. Sometimes I let you experience loss not because I want you to suffer, but because I am preparing you for something greater. What is coming will not be like anything you have experienced before. It will surprise you, it will amaze you, It will change your whole way of looking at the world. But you must trust me, even when you don't see anything happening. That is the nature of faith, to walk when you haven't seen the road, to jump down when you haven't seen the foothold, to reach out when you haven't seen who will hold you. You can't wait until everything becomes clear to start believing. You have to believe first, and then you will see. Maybe now you are feeling discouraged. Maybe you are thinking that nothing will change, that your life will always be like this, that the dreams you once had are just pipe dreams. But I say to you, get ready, because you don't know what I'm doing behind the curtain. You don't know what doors I'm opening. You don't know what people I'm bringing into your life. You don't know what opportunities are waiting for you ahead. But one thing is certain. I have made a plan, and when the time comes, everything will happen quickly. Ask yourself, are you really ready? If that day came right now, would you have the courage to step in? If I called you at this moment, would you be willing to give up everything to follow me? Or are you still hesitating, still afraid, still clinging to the old things? Don't think that you need to be perfect to step into the new. I do not demand perfection. I only demand a willing heart. I just need you to say, Lord, I am ready. And when you say that, you will see miracles begin to happen. What has been delayed will be accelerated. What has been held back will be released. What you once thought you could never do, you will do. Because I go before you, I open the way for you, I fight for you. But you must be brave, you must be strong. You can't let fear stop you anymore. I know that you have been afraid of failure, but listen to me. No failure can prevent my plan for you. No mistake can destroy what I have set aside. No past can bind your future when you put your hand in my hand. The day will come. It will come unexpectedly, but it does not come to overwhelm you. It comes to lift you up. It comes to set you free. It comes to bring you into something greater than you can imagine. And when it comes, you must be ready. You can't stand still. You can't hesitate. You must walk in faith because I have chosen you, because I have prepared you, because I have called you by my own name. Get ready because your life will change, and when that moment comes, you will understand that all that you have gone through is not meaningless. All that you have lost is not loss, but preparation so that you can stand firm, so that you can step in, so that you can receive what I have set aside for you. Get ready because that day is not far away. Do you know that what is happening around you is only the surface of a deeper reality? You see time passing, the days following each other like a flowing stream, but you don't realize that in every moment I am weaving a grand plan. All that you're going through is not coincidental. Every challenge, every closed door, every dream that seemed missed, all are pieces in the picture that I am creating for you. But now I tell you that the picture is nearing completion. One more big step, a new chapter will open, and you will see more clearly what has been hidden for so long. But to step into that new chapter, you cannot just be the person of yesterday. A great change is coming, and you must be strong enough to receive it. I don't want you to just be an outsider watching others move forward while you yourself are still hesitating. No, I want you to be a leader, the one who takes on the mission that I have placed in your heart from the beginning. There are things that you are familiar with, things that make you feel safe, but they will no longer follow you on the road ahead. I am stripping away the old things, not to make you lose, but so that you can put on something better. You will feel as if the ground beneath your feet is shaking, as if you are losing the stability you once clung to. But believe that I am building a new foundation that is stronger, more powerful, so that you can stand on it without being swayed. Maybe you will see everything happen too fast, the changes coming rapidly, the opportunities opening unexpectedly, the doors that seemed closed now opening. You will wonder how this can happen. But I tell you that I have arranged it all in advance. Your prayers are not forgotten. Your tears do not fall in vain. The dreams that you thought were dead, I am breathing new life into them. But don't think that you can keep the old and at the same time step into the new. No, you must choose. You cannot bring the shackles from the past into the future that I have prepared. You cannot continue to think the same, act the same, believe the same if you want to step into the plan that I have for you. I need you to be stronger, braver, dare to believe more. Are you willing to let go of the limits that you have placed on yourself? Thoughts like you're not good enough, you are not worthy enough, you're not capable, you cannot overcome. All those are not true. Those are just lies that have bound you for too long. Break them. Look at yourself with the eyes that I look at you. You are not as weak as you think. You are not as alone as you imagine. You are not as useless as you once feared. In you, there is a power greater than you can realize, because I myself have put it in you. The day to come is not a normal day. It will be the day you see a new light in your life. It will be the day that things you once thought impossible suddenly become reality. It will be the day you realize that I have never forgotten you, never abandoned you, never let you walk alone. But you must be ready. Look around you. What you are seeing is not the whole truth. This world is full of illusions, things that make you think that there is no hope, no way out. But I tell you, do not believe what your eyes see, believe what I say. For when I speak a word, the whole universe must move. When I give an order, the doors must open. When I touch something, it is never the same again. You don't need to know exactly what day it is. You don't need to worry about time, because time is in my hands. What you need to do is prepare your soul, prepare your faith, prepare your heart to receive what I am about to do. Let go of unnecessary worries. Stop trying to control everything. You don't need to understand it all. You just need to trust. And when that day comes, you'll see that every bit of waiting was worth it. Be ready, be brave, step out in faith, because what's coming will change you forever. Do you ever feel a stirring deep within your soul? Something rising up, an unexplainable restlessness, a sense that something grand is on its way. It's not random. It's my call. It's the nudge I've placed in your heart to let you know you can't stay where you are. Pay attention. Do you feel that things that used to satisfy you just don't anymore? Fleeting pleasures now leave you empty, and the plans you carefully laid out suddenly seem meaningless. That's because I'm shifting things. What was yours yesterday won't be enough for tomorrow. You can't keep living in the same old loop with the same old habits and the same old thoughts. If you want to step into the greater things I've prepared, you have to be ready to face things you've never known before. You must be prepared to release even things you once cherished if they no longer fit my plan for you. This won't be easy. You'll feel like you're losing what's most precious, but you're not losing. You're being raised to a higher level. Trees have to shed old leaves to grow new shoots. Fire has to burn away what's unnecessary to refine what's purest. So too with you. What doesn't belong, what doesn't serve your purpose, I will remove. You might feel lost in the process. People you once trusted might not walk with you anymore. Roads you thought were right might suddenly dead end. Dreams you once held close might fade. But don't let fear hold you back. Don't let the uncertainty of the present keep you from believing in the miracle of tomorrow. Remember that with every step, I'm with you. You're not abandoned. You're not forgotten. You're being molded and refined into the future you. A person who is stronger, with a more unwavering faith and a bigger heart. Are you ready to embrace what I'm about to give you? Will you dare to release your fear to step into the new? Or will you cling to the old because you're afraid that if you let go, you'll have nothing left? I tell you that if you dare to release, you will receive more than you can imagine. If you dare to trust, you will see wonders that your eyes have never seen. If you dare to step out, you'll realize that I've gone before you to clear the way. Look back on your life. How many times did you think you wouldn't make it, but you stood firm in the end? How many times did you think it was all over, but I opened another door? How many times did you feel alone, but then you realized that I was always there? See, I've never left you. And it's the same this time. That day is coming. It will be a turning point, a moment you'll never forget. But you can't enter it with an old soul with restricting chains. You must prepare. Cleanse your soul, remove the negative thoughts, and release the fears that have weighed you down for too long. Learn to listen to my voice, because when the time comes, I will guide you. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust. Because when that day comes, you'll no longer doubt. You'll know that everything has been arranged perfectly, and you'll step into a new chapter of your life with a faith stronger than ever before. Can you feel it? The unseen pulse in the air, the gentle but undeniable tremor of what's coming. It's not loud, but it's powerful. No one can escape the change I have ordained, and neither can you. You've passed through old seasons, walked on paths you thought were forever. But now I'm calling you to step into the new. Don't cling to what's past. Don't be afraid of what's to come. Look back at all that I have done in your life. The moments you thought there was no escape, the days you felt lost, the dreams that crumbled. All of these have been stepping stones leading you to this moment. I never let anything happen without purpose. I don't let your tears fall without reason. Every trial you've experienced isn't random. It has forged you, prepared you, so you can face the coming day without fear. But do you understand? If you want to step into the new, you can't hold onto the old burdens. You can't step into the dawn if you keep looking at the darkness. I see you've been fighting for years, holding on to what you thought was yours. But some things have expired. Some things are no longer for you, and I tell you to let go. Release the fear that's shackling you. Cast aside the doubts that have slowed you down and free your soul from unnecessary worries. You can't embrace the future if your hands are still gripping the past. But I know you're afraid. You're afraid of losing control, afraid the new won't be what you expect, afraid that if you let go, you'll have nothing left. But I tell you, trust. You've trusted me in the darkest times. So now that I'm bringing you to a new chapter, why do you doubt? Don't be afraid. What I have prepared for you is greater than anything you've ever known. Your dreams have never been big enough to encompass what I'm about to do. Your thoughts have never been deep enough to understand my plan. Have you ever wondered why your life sometimes feels delayed? Why some doors don't open, no matter how hard you try? Why the things you long for never come? Because I don't want you to have just the good. I want you to have the best. You don't see the whole picture, but I do. I know that if you got what you wanted when you wanted it, it could ruin you. I'm holding you back not to disappoint you, but to protect you, to teach you, to prepare you. So, don't be disappointed. Don't think you've been forgotten. Don't think you've lost your way. No, you're still on the path I have mapped out. There are just lessons you need to learn before you can step into the greater things. But you must understand this. No change comes without challenges. That day will come, but you have to be ready. I won't let you step into something new with an old soul, with a heavy heart. You have to release to receive. You have to be willing to reach out. You have to be prepared to walk as soon as I call. There's no room for hesitation, no room for fear. If you want greatness, you must dare to step out of your comfort zone. If you want to see miracles, you must be willing to walk on water, even if you're not sure you can. Listen closely to what you are feeling. It's not random. The signs you see around you aren't coincidence. I'm speaking to you. I'm calling you, and you must respond. Don't wait for a perfect moment, because it will never come. Don't think you need to be perfectly ready before you step out. No, you only need one thing, faith. If you have faith, you'll see me act. If you have faith, you'll see doors open. If you have faith, you'll see that nothing is impossible. That day is coming. It won't be like anything you've ever known. It won't come the way you expect, but it will come at the right time. And when it comes, you'll understand that everything I do has a reason. You'll look back and see that every wound, every tear, every trial was part of the journey leading you here. And you'll know that you're never alone. I'm always here, and I will continue to guide you until you complete the mission I have placed on your life. Can you feel the invisible movement within your soul? A gentle but clear stirring, as if something is changing in the space around you. I'm doing a new thing. The wheels have started to turn, and you can't stop it. What is coming will sweep you into a current more powerful than anything you have ever known. But don't be afraid. Don't let your mind be disturbed by the things that are not yet clear. Hold on tight to your faith, because that day is coming. Some changes happen like a light breeze through the leaves, almost unnoticeable. But some changes come like a great storm sweeping away everything that was once familiar. And you need to know that what I am about to do in your life is not a passing breeze. It will be powerful. It will make you look back at yourself. It will test your faith. It will take you to places you never thought you would go. But I tell you not to be afraid. When I hold your hand, nothing can drown you. When I lead you, no road can get you lost. Can you see? I am opening doors that you thought could never be opened. Opportunities that you had given up hope on. dreams that you thought were dead. I am breathing new life into them. But you must be ready. Not everyone can step into the new. Not everyone can embrace change. Only those who have courage, those who have faith, those who are willing to let me lead can seize the great thing that I am preparing. I know that there are times when you doubt. You wonder if you're strong enough to continue. You wonder if you're going in the right direction or just getting lost in your own thoughts. But I tell you not to worry. Everything you are experiencing has a purpose. No moment is meaningless. The challenges you have faced are not to make you fall, but to temper you, to make you stronger, to prepare you for this time. If you feel that the old things are collapsing, if you see everything around you seems to be changing, don't panic, because that is a sign that you are about to step into the new. You can't walk with a heavy heart. Let me take away your burdens, the worries, the pains, the old wounds. You don't need to hold them anymore. Let me bandage you. Let me change your fear into courage, change your tears into joy, change darkness into light. But you must be willing to let go. You can't embrace the new if your hands are still tightly holding the old. You can't walk if your feet are still tied by the worries of the past. I am taking you to a place you have never been, a land you have never seen. The things you once thought were limitations I will break. The things you once thought were impossible I will make come true. But you must trust. Don't put your faith in the things your eyes see, because your eyes can deceive you. Don't let fear control you, because it will only make you hesitate. Have faith in me. Look with the eyes of faith, because what I am preparing for you is beyond what you can imagine. I know you have waited, you have prayed, you have longed, you have hoped, and now you're standing on the threshold of something great. But you must cross over. You must have the courage to move forward even when you don't see the entire road. Don't wait for everything to become clear. Don't wait for an absolute guarantee. If you know that I go before you, what are you afraid of? If I have ordained the way, what do you hesitate about? Take a step even when you don't see the destination. Stand firm even when you don't understand all that I am doing. Because one day you will look back and see that everything was part of the perfect plan. There will be challenges you will face. There will be doors that seem to close. Be persistent. Hold on to your faith. That day is coming. And when it comes, you will see that everything I have done has a reason. You will understand that I have always been with you, always guiding you even in the moments when you didn't realize it, and you will know that you are never alone. That day is not far. Prepare yourself. Keep your heart pure. Open your soul. Be ready to embrace the great thing that I am bringing. Because when the time comes, you won't be able to hesitate. When the call rings out, you must walk. Remember that I am always here. I will not leave you alone. I will go before you, walk with you, protect you, and when the door opens, you will know that you have been waiting for this your whole life. Can you feel the pulse of the coming moment? It's unlike anything you've ever experienced. It's not a typical change, nor a random disturbance in the flow of life. No, this is a profound shift, a decisive transformation. You won't be able to go back to the way things were, because I'm not calling you to return to the old. I'm leading you into a new journey, a new beginning, ready to catch that wind so the ship can surge forward. If the ship isn't ready, if the sails aren't raised, no matter how strong the wind, you won't be able to move forward. This is like your life. You must prepare your soul to embrace what I'm about to bestow. If you're not ready, if you weigh your heart down with worries, if you cling to the old ways, then when the time comes, you won't be able to step into the new that I have for you. Have you ever wondered why some doors close before you? Have you ever felt as if you're knocking on a place where no one answers? That's not rejection, nor is it failure. It's because I'm directing you to another path, another door, something beyond what you can understand at this moment. Don't regret what's lost. Don't look back with regret. If you keep turning your head to look behind you, you won't be able to see the road ahead that I'm opening for you. Let me take you where I have prepared. Let me place you in the right position at the right time. Don't rush. Don't worry if everything hasn't happened the way you wanted. I'm working on things you don't see. I'm laying foundations you don't understand. But when the time comes, when all the pieces are completed, you'll realize that nothing is coincidental. You'll feel the signs when that day draws near. Not with your eyes, not with your ears, but with a very deep vibration in your soul, an awakening, a call stronger than any other call. You won't be able to deny it, nor can you escape it, because when I call you, you'll know that it's the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. But are you ready? Are you ready to walk when I tell you to walk? Are you ready to release the old, to grasp the new? Then the opportunity will pass. Don't be like those who stood before the threshold of greatness, but turned away because of fear. Be someone who has the courage to step in. Be someone who dares to place all your trust in me. I don't promise that the road will be easy, but I promise that I'll be with you. I don't promise that there won't be challenges, but I promise that I'll give you the strength to overcome them. I don't promise that you'll always understand everything from the beginning, but I promise that when you look back, you'll see that everything has meaning, that nothing is wasted, that every tear, every prayer, every moment of waiting is part of the great plan that I have set for you. Prepare, for that day is coming. Hold firm to your faith, because what I have promised will come to pass. Open your heart, because I'm about to do things you've never seen. When the time comes, you'll know that you were born for this moment, and when you walk, you'll see that I have never left you, that I've always been here guiding you, protecting you, preparing you for this day. Can you feel the unseen movement in your life? It's not just a normal change, but a shake to the very roots, an upheaval of everything you once thought you understood. That day is approaching, and you need to prepare, because when that moment happens, you won't have time to waver, no moment to hesitate. You'll have to choose immediately, step into what I have prepared, or miss the opportunity that I have placed before you. Look back at what's happened in your life. There were times when you thought you were controlling everything, that you could decide your own path. But then events happened, things you couldn't explain, events that made you wonder why they came. It's not coincidence. It's a setup from long ago to bring you to this time, to the most important moment in your life. There were doors that closed, but you didn't understand that they closed so that bigger doors could open. There were relationships that ended, but you didn't realize that I was removing things that no longer belonged to you, so you could embrace things that are better. There were dreams that you thought you lost, but you don't know that I never let them disappear. I'm just waiting for the perfect time to make them come true in a way that is more glorious than you ever imagined. That day isn't just a time in your personal history. It's the meeting between your destiny and my plan. It's when everything in your life starts to link up, when every question finds an answer, when everything you've suffered becomes meaningful. You can't foresee what's coming, but I can. You can't understand everything, but I know everything. And I tell you, prepare. The preparation isn't just changing your lifestyle or adjusting your personal plans. It's a preparation deep within your soul. It's about letting go of every burden that has bound you for too long. It's about removing the fear that has held you back, the lies that have made you doubt yourself, the injuries that have prevented you from moving on. I know you have suffered many things, but you can't bring those burdens with you when you step into the new. You must let go. Imagine you're standing on a cliff. Ahead is a rainbow bridge that leads to a promised land. You can't carry everything on your back. If you try to carry all the old things, you won't be able to walk. You'll be stopped, delayed, pulled back. You have to learn how to let go. Learn to put your faith in me and walk without looking back. The challenges that will come aren't because I want to make things difficult for you, but because I want you to become strong. No warrior is forged in comfort. No leader is born without going through trials. I'm not calling you to live an ordinary life. I'm calling you to step into a great mission. And that mission requires you to be resilient, to be courageous, to have unwavering faith. Do you know why a seed has to be buried in darkness before it can sprout? Because it needs time to develop, to take root, to prepare for new life. If you feel as if you're in darkness, if you feel as if everything is silent, it's not a sign of failure. It's a sign of preparation. When that time comes, you'll see clearly how perfectly everything has been arranged. You'll understand why I told you to be patient. You'll realize that no moment was wasted. No pain was meaningless. No trial didn't bring benefit to you. All are leading you to that fateful moment where you'll see the miracle that I have prepared from before you were born. Don't be afraid. Don't shrink back. Hold firm to your faith, because what is coming will far exceed what you can imagine. Amen.